What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to Alarm Fantasy Football. I'm Howard Bender. With me, Andrew Cooper. Thursday night football kicks off tonight, NFL Week 14. This is likely the final week of most fantasy regular seasons, although if you are a crazy person and you play with Week 18 involved, then maybe this is the second to last regular season game. Either way, playoffs are on the line. We got to talk weekly NFL rankings. We got to talk about lineup decisions that we've got, and it's a lot. Coop,
do we have to? Because after watching you on Getting Buzzed, now I just want to open packs of cards. Like that's I just want to watch. I don't even need to open them myself. I just want to watch someone open cards.
Like, I honestly didn't even know that we were going to be opening real packs. I thought that we were just going to kind of like simulate the whole thing, because the original game was like, okay, you open up this pack, you've got these three top players in there, you pick one, and then the careers get whacked from the other two.
Okay.
Right? I didn't realize that we were opening up a full set of cards there, where all of a sudden we got like 13 players who absolutely sucked and 2 players who may or may not have been okay.
Okay, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That was fun, man. I recorded an episode of Rip and Riff with Adam Bernard and Jared Moore that's gonna air in a couple weeks, and now I'm like going to my wife. I'm like, what would be cool for my stocking, right? Cards. So I'm in, man. I'm in. But yeah, well, I guess we could talk some football today instead.
We might. I mean, listen, if you guys want to talk about Rip and Riff, I mean, listen, what is that? That's Saturdays. Adam Bernard and Jared Moore, right here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. So, look at you. You're all set and ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah.
I think I got an old card here somewhere. I don't even know.
Floating around.
I don't even know. I was never, listen, I lost my collection, and I didn't even get like that. There you go. I didn't even really get into baseball cards. I mean, I got into them when I was younger. But like when I was like 12, 13 years old, I started collecting comic books. Ooh. And that became a whole different ball of wax for me. And that was absolutely incredible. Yeah, look, Hal's already saying, he's like, hobby is out of control. Yeah, ripping retail is fun. It is. It's a good time. It's definitely a good time. We were going to do that when, like when there was COVID and we had nothing to talk about and there were no sports. So, we kind of floated into that direction. But listen, we've got sports. We've got everything going on right now. NFL Week 14 opens up tonight. It's Coop. It's your Patriots going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, listen, nobody's expecting a lot out of this game with an over/under of 30. All right, and let's just. I mean, is there anybody that you would trust to use in fantasy here?
Zeke, if I have to. Zeke, if I have to, yeah. Now the thing, and the worst part is that like not only are these teams struggling and they're using backup quarterbacks, but the matchup, like the only things that these guys are good at, these teams are good at, the other team is good at, right? Like you can run on the Steelers, so of course the Patriots lose Ramondre Stevenson right before this game, right? The good players on the Steelers are Freiermuth and the running backs, and the Patriots are good versus the tight end, one of the top 5 or 6 teams versus tight end, and they're number 2 in DVOA versus the run, right? So it's like it's the perfect storm of ugliness tonight. So we'll see, though. Sometimes these games can surprise us. Expectations are so low that I feel like we're setting up for a little bit of a surprise. Something fun will happen,
You're so ugly you could be a modern art masterpiece.
I don't know, man. I'm going to be sitting in the Better Cast. I'm doing a full takeover here, and if you guys have looking for a place to watch the game tonight, I'm doing the BenderCast takeover. I'm going to be doing ticket giveaways throughout the game. I'm going to be chiming in left and right. We're going to be talking in the chat. You hit that QR code right there. Free to join, it's a free download. It's free to play. Answer some pre-game prop questions, some in-game prop questions. You score points for right answers. You turn those points into tickets, and those tickets can be redeemed for free autographed sports memorabilia. We've got like a whole array of prizes to choose from. So again, it's all free to join and it's all free to play and it's real prizes in there. So, and then again, I do ticket giveaways throughout the entire game. So download the BetterCast app. Join me tonight for a little action there in the chat. We do have some injury news for tonight's game here, Coop. Najee Harris is questionable. like you said, Ramondre's out. He's not playing. Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster, both guys are listed as questionable here. As Demario Douglas, he ain't playing.
He didn't clear. Yeah, he didn't clear protocol. So no pop tonight. Also, Kayshon Boutte is out. So what we saw last week with all those guys out is they basically just had 3 wide receivers available, and they actually used them on a ton of snaps. So I see some questions in the chat about showdown slate. I don't think it's crazy to throw one of those guys in there. Maybe Tyquan Thornton hits a big one, but all 3 of Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Tyquan Thornton played more than 50 snaps last week, which is very rare for this team. And I think that's probably what they're going to have to do again, right? I mean, unless you're rolling 2 tight end sets, which Mike Gesicki only played 5 snaps last week, and this is a very good team versus the tight end. I think that's where you have to go, is you have to shoot for those dart throws, a Devontae Parker touchdown or a Tyquan Thornton. You know, he is fast. He's incredibly fast. So maybe this is the week he breaks off a big one. I don't know.
Interesting. All right. If you're building a showdown lineup, who are you going to put in your captain spot?
Well, I'm going to grab a coin first, and I'll assign heads to the Steelers defense, and I'll assign tails to the Patriots defense, right? What do you got?
Tails.
So the Steelers defense will be the captain. And then I'll also put the Patriots defense in. both kickers. This is how ugly it is. Both kickers and the Steelers defense are more expensive than any wide receiver on the Patriots.
So, all right, both kickers, both defenses, and what, Zeke? Yeah, I mean, you'll have the money to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the way it shakes out, you kind of have the money to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know,
because nobody looks good in this game.
Right. Nobody. And it's like, and there aren't even any crazy deep dart throws. I mean, I guess is JaMychal who's going to be the other back?
You know what? JaMychal Hasty might be an intriguing deep dart throw there. Yeah. Especially, I mean, listen, it's a short week for the Patriots, and Zeke rushed for 92 yards, on Sunday.
He was dealing. They said that he took a shot to the thigh or something. Was dealing with a thigh bruise or something this week. Okay. So
makes it a little bit more interesting.
Open it up. Yeah, there's some narratives to play with here. So.
All right, guys, we've got the showdown write-up over at fantasyalarm.com. Dan Malin does the showdown write-ups every week for all the primetime games. He does such an amazing job with them. Absolutely love it. Go check those out there. I have my article for confidence pools for just pick 'em straight up against, no spread. I've got that article up there. I've got my best bets article up there for tonight's game. So you'll be able to check all of that stuff out over at fantasyalarm.com. And look, another QR code here. We're like the masters of the QR code. And there we go.
Make it easy for you.
All-Pro package. fantasyalarm.com/let's go. Promo code let's go gets 50% off your first month.
There's basically 1 month left, right? All 4, like the games for your fantasy football championship, assuming you don't play the last week, will be on New Year's Eve, so you basically got, you can take that month, man, you're good to go.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, that's a great point right there. You finish out the season, you see how you like it, see how you enjoy it. And then, join us for the playoffs beyond that.
Baseball,
like we're going to be doing all of the DFS, playoff competitions. I know Coop's writing a little something up for the FFPC, and their playoff contest is one of my absolute favorites. So we still have a ton of stuff going on, not without like all the other offers that we have, like our good friends over at Underdog Fantasy, right? You go to Underdog Fantasy and start playing some pick'em contests over there. If you haven't signed up, go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Hit that QR code right there.
Another one.
Use that promo code ALARM, and you'll get an instant deposit match up to $100. Now, Coop, you and I have been giving away some picks over the last couple of days here. And listen, the promo name, the gimme name right now is still Najee Harris. Half a yard. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. So keep that in mind. We're going to have to wait and see. If Najee is if he's active, then you can go higher and feel good about that. If he's not active, clearly you want the lower. All right.
Yeah.
But let's give him a couple of decent picks here, Coop, that we can kind of mix in over there. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, so we already gave you in this game tonight. We gave you Zeke earlier this week, and that's a scorcher, as they call it. If you look for the little, there's a little chili pepper next to certain guys. You can get 1.25x. I think that's what that one is. Up to 2x at times. So you kind of and you can combine all those. I was reading up on this, Howard. You can combine all those and get it all the way up to 100x. That's where they draw the line and say, okay, that's enough. But if you do enough scorchers, you can get up to 100. That's a big bonus. So the one I'm going with tonight is our tackle monster. We like doing the tackle monsters on Thursdays. So we can crush it on these. The guy I'm going with here, not a linebacker this time around. We're gonna go with Kyle Duggar. And here's why. Yeah. Kyle Duggar. He has averaged over 6 tackles a game this year, on pace for a career high in tackles for him. And what he does is he covers the tight end, right? The games where he's had under 5 tackles, it's only been 3. And it's been the Giants with no Darren Waller. It's been the Colts, who don't even use their tight ends. And it's been the Dolphins, where Durham Smythe is just like a clunky turnstile out there, just blocking. You know what I mean? So the 3 times he went under 5, it was teams that didn't use a tight end. This team here, Pat Freiermuth, right? 2 running backs, a lot of opportunity for Kyle Duggar to make tackles over the middle. I think we're going to get more than 5, so I'm going higher.
All right, I'm gonna piggyback it here. I'm gonna go with a Patriot also. Now I've given you, I think I gave you Pat Freiermuth with 27.5 receiving yards the other day. I know I did that like 2 days ago on Tuesday. I'm gonna stay with the tight ends. I'm gonna go Hunter Henry here, 22.5 receiving yards, and I'm gonna say higher for Hunter Henry because here's the deal. Like the Patriots, the Steelers, they might rank, I think, like 3rd or 4th in DVOA against the tight end. However, they're still giving up like 50 yards per game to them. So they might not be giving up touchdowns to the tight end, right? But they are giving up yardage and a lot of passing work. So with that, and again, no Demario Douglas. If we want to rely on Tyquan Thornton, Devontae Parker, I don't even know. It's going to be a cold game. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be sluggish. I think Bailey Zappi is going to be kind of running for his life with TJ Watt running around there. So I think the short, quick, high percentage passes is really where Bailey Zappi needs to kind of live. That'll open up the deeper shots downfield. But to me, I like Hunter Henry with 22.5 receiving yards higher.
Boom. Love it. That's how you make this game fun, man. That's how you make these Thursday games fun. You go out, set up some underdog picks. Now you're rooting not just and put a bunch of defensive ones in there because that's just as fun. Like watching these guys fly around, and when guy finally gets them, we had a blast on Thanksgiving rooting for Quay Walker there. Me and my whole family. Well, my whole family got in on it.
Love
we
the
like,
tackle monster props.
Even the kids were like, he got him, and I'm just like
get him.
And like he had one where he like a guy was falling down, and he got one hand on him, and they were like, "Does that count? Does that count?" And I was like, "No, unfortunately, it doesn't." But a lot of fun. So
I had a sack prop going over Thanksgiving. I don't even remember who was. I think it was like Jared Goff getting sacked, and my wife was like, she was like getting so into it. It was like a game, and he had no care about whatever, and she was like, "Get him!
Yes, the sack ones are fun too. Yeah, those are the smash the coffee table props right there.
All right. Well, listen, you guys are loading up the chat. We love seeing you guys in there. Again, if you like the content that you're getting here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube page, please hit that like button, subscribe to the Fantasy Alarm channel. We really appreciate that. Again, because you're going to want notifications. Like once football season ends, we're still going to be doing a lot of great programming over here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. So it's something that, we kind of want to lock in there. I know that we've got people locked in from this 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time block. And we're going to make sure that we continue to own like this 2-hour window for your lunch hours and things like that.
I love the offseason. I'm not gonna lie. Like obviously the season is the best part, but like the rampant speculation, free agency, and the draft, I love that stuff, man. Like that is my bread and butter. So yeah, we'll keep it rolling for sure.
All right. Well, let's hit some of the chat questions here, just at least the commentary. Rex Timotheus in the house here. What's up, family? He was in there for getting buzzed. Also, thank you, Rex. Always appreciate that. And Dunn in the house. Love that. She'll be in the better cast tonight, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hal says hobby out of control. We talked about that. Evan Gittleman, he says, forget the pleasantries, guys. Here's my question. Flex help needed. Jalen Warren or Calvin Ridley? Najee is expected to play tonight, and the over-under is very low for this game. Also worried about Ridley since T-Law might not play, and the matchup is tough, and so is the weather.
Yeah,
that Jags-Cleveland game.
It's threefold, right? It's the QBs, it's the best defense in the league, arguably, and the atmospheric river. I posted a picture of it on
atmospheric river. I saw that tweet.
Somebody actually also added another name. They call these storms that come over so the people in the Pacific Northwest, they call it the Pineapple Express, because it comes over it's warm wind from Hawaii that hits the cold wind in the mountains, and it just dumps rain on everybody. So.
You want to get high?
Yeah, I was gonna say Pineapple Express is a kind of weed.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not the Snickle Fritz, but it's a kind of weed.
Yeah,
so we'll stick with atmospheric river here for the kids at home.
I like it. Yeah, so we'll go with and we'll stick with Jalen Warren as well. I think the thing with Jalen Warren is that he can break off explosive plays. So even going up against the Browns, who are one of the other great teams at DVOA against the run, he was averaging over 6 yards a carry, and then he broke off a 74-yard touchdown. So he actually managed 130 yards against one of the better teams against the run. I think Jalen Warren can probably get away with it tonight, as opposed to Ridley, where that game has an over-under as well of 30.5, and they're not going to be able to throw,
I agree. All right, did I ever get into Ghost Rider? I did like Ghost Rider. I didn't collect that too much. I mean, I was a lot of Captain America, a lot of Avengers, a lot of X-Men. I didn't really like when I was collecting as somebody who loved comic books, loved superheroes, loved reading them. I didn't buy stuff as a collector back in the day, but then I'd start going to comic book conventions in New York, and I'd pull some old stuff, I'd buy some stuff, some Avengers books from the 60s, early 70s and do it that way. So I'm going to have to get that comic book collection appraised. I still have it.
Right.
Still have it. Ann Dunn says, sit one of these. Oh, here we go. PPR.
Yeah.
Eckler, Moss, and Javonte Williams. So a great embarrassment of riches right now. I said this yesterday, I'm a little bit more bullish on Austin Eckler in this matchup if Josh Palmer is out. If Josh Palmer is in, then I worry that Eckler's not going to get the passing work that he should get.
Yeah,
if Palmer's out.
I think I have all these players ranked top 10 this week.
I think you do too. I mean, I'm leaning Eckler and Moss here as the starts and Javonte as the sit.
That's how I have it. I just want to double check that because I do all the research and then get it up there, and then sometimes I got to go back and double check. I have Moss at.
You had Moss at 3 in PPR last I saw.
If it's PPR, I have Moss at 3, Eckler at 8, and Javonte at 15. So yeah, Eckler and Moss. That's where we live.
Yeah, there you go. Chargy 65 wants to know Zeke is a cheap play on DraftKings. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We're doing it.
Although I love now. I'm all in on this JaMychal Hasty sneaky.
I know, I kind of like it too. I have 2 lineups. The Zeke play I like best is the anytime touchdown. I think that that's the one I feel best about.
Yeah. Hal says Malik Cunningham as the optimal captain tonight.
Oh, that'd be fun. See, that's what I mean. Something like that would be just give us something. You know what I mean? Give us a little something to get excited about. Throw him out there. Let the announcers, they can go through his whole backstory like they did Jake Browning. We just need a little something. We need a little mustard on this game.
Albert's in here. Hello, everyone. Ryan Volts. I can't wait to not watch the game tonight. Listen, I'm dying on this game still, Coop. With regard to survivor pools.
I know, dude. That's yeah.
I'll ask you again. Here you go. Steelers or Ravens?
I say Ravens. I say Ravens simply because, and to me,
sure.
Yeah. But you got to throw the added fact in that you're the only one that can start the Ravens, and you could take it home this week. You could take it home this week if it goes your way.
That is true. Yeah. What a horrible game for the Bender cast. Thanks, Ann. Really looking forward to it. Absolutely. With no
Pendergast's been getting
guests
smoked.
whatsoever and no fun in this game whatsoever. We really did
I
a great
never
job on this one
realized how
here.
boring this game is.
Oh, I realized how boring this game was. Exactly. All right. Anthony says he's bummed about Dynasty Nerds. Coop was killing the all-time PPR team last night. What happened?
Yeah, I think he shot me a DM on that where his team is who was it, Anthony? You lost somebody, right? Refresh me on that one. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, while Anthony does that, Jonathan Santiago in the house here. Goddard or Engram? My opponent has Hurts. Okay. I'm just going to say this is like a quick blanket statement. Unless you're talking about like the championship playoff matchup and you're talking about like whether or not, if somebody's got a heavy passing quarterback where you're also looking at like their top target, like, do I start their top target to sort of negate the points and stuff like that? But I've always been of the mindset that you put your best team forward. I'm not going to take somebody out and play somebody else on top of it just because somebody's got somebody on their team. Like in this case here, I'm still yes to Goddard as opposed to Engram, but that's because you're getting the better player in the better matchup and you're not dealing with a backup QB. But it has nothing to do with the fact that Hurts is playing for the other team.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I mean, not even as a tiebreaker. I do my best to figure out who the best player is, and I start those players. If it's 5 guys on the 49ers, then I start them all. If my opponent has the quarterback, I don't care, right? So I'm going Goddard here. And the thing with Engram is he's going up against the number 1 tight end defense, and it's not even close. So backup quarterback, rainstorm, and they're going up against a team. Howard, this team has only let up 27 receptions to all combined tight ends this year. No other team is below 40. On DraftKings, all the other teams we consider good against the tight end. The 49ers, the Patriots, the Giants, they're all allowing like 8.4 points per game. This team is allowing 5.9 DraftKings points per game to the tight ends. That is brutally bad. So you just don't want to even if it was Trevor Lawrence, it would be a bad spot. So don't do it. No Engram this week.
All right. Chargy65 says, with Najee questionable, should I start Warren over A.J. Dillon? So Najee is questionable to play, but Tom Pelissero from the NFL Network is reporting that he is expected to play. He was a non-participant in practices on Tuesday and Wednesday, but Pelissero says that he is in line to face New England, barring any pregame setbacks with his knee. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to watch super closely here to to the practice, to the pregame warmups and figure out what's going to happen. Because if Najee is out, I'm all in on Jaylen Warren. You might as well just use him, regardless of the fact that the Patriots' run defense is strong. They're still going to have to run the football. With A.J. Dillon, is Aaron Jones, is he going to play? Like, it's a Monday game, and that's what makes me the most nervous. I know it's a super soft matchup.
Right. I
just don't know if Aaron Jones is playing.
My rankings right now, I have these guys: Jaylen Warren, 27, A.J. Dillon, Najee Harris, bing, bang, boom. So as of right now, I kind of lean towards just starting Jaylen Warren. A.J. Dillon, the thing with him, even if obviously if Aaron Jones starts, then Dillon goes way on the back burner. But even without Aaron Jones, they don't like A.J. Dillon in that pass catching role, right? Yeah. They'll even use Patrick Taylor. So personally, I think I might just go Warren tonight just to avoid the nightmare of like, all of a sudden Aaron Jones is going to play, and now you have to go find somebody on the wire and start.
Aaron Jones just returned to practice today.
He did? Yeah, so there you go. Definitely don't risk that.
Yeah. All right. Anthony says all kickers in D team. Yes, 100% for that. Yeah. Is Najee worth playing tonight in PPR tight end premium, or do I pivot to somebody like Kraft or Otten instead? Ooh, I'd actually think in a tight end premium, I might take that shot over Najee tonight.
Yeah. The thing with Cade Otten, in general, I trust this guy. Last week, though, he had no no catches, right? But he ran 33 of 35 routes. And the thing is, the Panthers are kind of sneaky good against the tight end. I went through and I ranked every team, and they haven't really played great tight ends, but I mean, there have been no good tight end games against them. So they might actually just be a tough matchup, in which case I probably would I think I'm going to start Otten. Kraft worries me a little bit. The Giants are a top 4 team versus the tight ends. They're top like 2 in DVOA and points against, honestly. So, it's Bobby Okereke, it's Xavier McKinney. I don't really I don't like starting tight ends against them. So I'd go on.
All right. Otten it is. I like it. Who should I start between Montgomery and Achane? Achane got the Monday night game against Tennessee. Monty's got the game against the Bears. So neither one has a good matchup against run defenses. Like the Bears are a solid run D. Titans are a solid run D. I think for me, I kind of lean towards Achane here.
Yeah, I think so too. You got to go upside because if they're splitting carries. I mean, Achane's the kind of guy that can do so much with only like 10 touches. In every game that he's gotten more than 10 touches, he's finished top 5. So as a running back. So I'm going Achane.
Angie Hatfield in the house. What's up, Ange? Would you play Zeke tonight over Rashad White?
No, we like Rashad White right now.
Yeah,
Rashad White's been hot lately. Yeah, and he's got the Falcons, and he catches passes anyway. So I like Rashad. I think I have Rashad ranked like 9.
Yeah, Rashad White is the way I would go as well. I took Henry over yards and Calvin Austin. Anytime touchdown for fun.
Ooh, what's that Austin TD at? What's he at? He kind of went back to the bench with Deontay Johnson back, but he also returns kicks and punts, I believe. So could come from anywhere. What's the number at? If it's
I'm looking for it right now. Anytime touchdown.
2K? If it's plus 2,000, I might be in on that.
I'm scrolling all the way down.
Keep scrolling.
Calvin Austin, it is plus 950 over at BetMGM.
And only 950. That's not bad. That's not terrible. I mean, I wouldn't put $100 on it. I'd put like $10 on it.
Right. I would rather put on plus 700 the New England Patriots defense scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
JaMychal Hasty plus 850. Trubisky, not Trubisky.
The biscuit.
Forget Trubisky.
Slinging the biscuit.
Let's see. Steelers anytime touchdown was 900 on DK. Yeah, listen, you got to do it.
That's not bad.
That's not bad either. Anthony says he's at work 52 weeks a year. He'll find his way back. Good. Appreciate that.
What are the odds on no Burns? Hey, Burns, see if you can find me the odds on no touchdown being scored.
No touchdown in that game is plus 1,000, I believe.
That's so dumb. That's a terrible bet. And the plus 1,000, that means it has a realistic shot of happening. Usually you can get that bet at like plus 2,500. So
plus 1,000, no touchdown in tonight's game. It's a dangerous one here. To me, it's a dangerous one because, somehow, Zeke will find his way in. I look at this game tonight and I'm like, I could see this game being like 14-10.
Right. And sometimes the teams are so bad that they set the other team up for an easy touchdown by being terrible, so you got to be careful with that.
Right. Like a Minka Fitzpatrick kind of a pass interference call on a deep Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Look forward to that.
All right. Bobby Lee in the house here. Warren, D-Hop, Pickens, Sutton, Madison, Javonte. Sit 2 of them.
Okay, so I'm starting Sutton, Madison, Javonte. So we're going to sit 2 out of Pickens, D-Hop, and Warren. I don't think you could sit D-Hop right now either. I think I might just sit both the Steelers, to be honest. This game's going to stink.
This game is going to stink. There's not really a lot of upside for points here. I mean, look at Pickens' yardage prop, and it's like 40 yards.
Right. I'll take the over on that still, but when they set the line there, it's not good for your fantasy team.
No, it is not. Ann says, need 3 of these in a PPR. Zeke, Elijah Moore, Brandon Cooks, Romeo Doubs, and Goddard. I'll say yes to Cooks. I've been on the Cooks train there.
Elijah Moore, unfortunately, is going to get caught up in that storm. I'm going to go Romeo Doubs going up against no Christian Watson going up against rookie cornerbacks for the Giants. So we go Cooks, Doubs. I think I would start Zeke tonight, man. I think I'm going to do it. Goddard is just like not an exciting player, to be honest. Like Howard, over the last 4 years, he only has 9 end zone targets total. Over the last 4 years combined, he has 9. Donald Parham this year has 7. Like he's just not an end zone target. He lives on screens. Like he's fine, but unless it's tight end premium, I think I'm gonna go Zeke, Cooks, and Dubs. Let's do it.
All right, Gabe the Babe in the house. Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins at wide receiver. We have there's several parts to this question here, but here we go. T. Higgins or Garrett Wilson.
This question's hurting my brain, dude.
I'm actually kind of leaning on Higgins here a little bit. I get it. Zach Wilson's going to be back, and you can pass on the Texans. I don't know what the weather's going to be like over there, nor do I know really if this offensive line is going to be able to give Zach Wilson any kind of protection. I think the matchup favors T. Higgins. You look at things like DVOA and understand that, they're probably going to be, the Colts will probably have to float some safety help over against Jamar Chase as well.
Yeah. And that one's, it's close enough to where those storms are, the river, the atmospheric river, where it's like definite rain showers is the prediction for that game for weather-wise. And they're saying 19-mile-an-hour winds, which is right on the cusp of having a major effect on what happens, man. So I'm with you. We're going T.
Higgins it is. All right, he also wants to say Gus Edwards or Alex Madison.
I'm going Madison. He still gets the bulk of the work, Ty Chandler never really materialized as a threat to his workload.
All right, get your Twitch glasses on. Coop, Brad McCoy, 24 in the house. Is Derrick Henry playing this week? I have Spears, so hoping he misses time. I'd have to hope Walker plays, or else I'd have to start Gus Edwards. Listen, if you have Spears,
you're good.
Then you're good. Like, if you have Spears and Henry, then whoever plays, that's who you pick, right? If Henry plays, then you use Henry. If Henry's out, you use Spears.
Yeah, we have Henry ranked ahead of Gus Edwards, assuming he plays anyway, because Gus Edwards is part of like a 3-headed monster with a mobile QB. So it's Henry if he plays, or it's Spears if he doesn't. Easy.
And if Walker is, if you're concerned about Walker versus Gus Edwards, I'm going to start Gus Edwards over Walker.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if Walker plays. So,
and I'm playing the 49ers. Gus is Kenneth Walker's playing the 49ers anyway.
Yeah, you don't want that. So I'd be starting Gus and then either Henry or Spears, whichever one's gonna play that game. Ethan Batterman in the house. Good afternoon, Ethan. Good afternoon, friends. I lost Kirk and Dell and filled up on the waiver wire. Any feel for which one of this week? Shakir, Hyatt, Washington, or Mingo?
So I kind of like Mingo. He plays the whole game, got 10 targets last week. My concern for Khalil Shakir is that the snaps for Dawson Knox are going to have to come from somewhere. Back when Knox was playing,
they've only opened the window for Knox. They have not said he's playing.
Yeah, not playing yet. But I mean, it's on the table. So yeah, if he doesn't play, then I don't mind Shakir. But I don't know. Mingo, man, he played like 95% of the snaps, got 10 targets last week. I feel like that's where I'm gonna go.
Which I'm fine with. I'm definitely fine with. I don't like this matchup at all against the Saints. I know Marshawn Lattimore's not there, but Debo is a decent. Decent corner. So yeah, I would say that if Dawson Knox is active for the game, then pivot over to Mingo. But I feel like Josh Allen's gonna have to shoot it out with Patrick Mahomes in this one.
Yeah, that's true. Parker Washington's an interesting idea. It's a good pickup, but again, the weather for that game. And then Jalen Hyatt is too boom or bust. All right, I'm with you on that. We'll go Shakir if Knox is out. I think both those games are 4:00. So, right? No, Mingo's at 1. We'll know. They'll have to have activated Knox by that day.
They'll have to activate Knox on Friday, like by Friday.
Okay, yeah. So we'll know. We'll know the deal by then.
When they get that final injury report in there, like they could activate him and just list him as questionable, but either way, activation is the key. Clinton Rawlings says Pineapple Express is an all-time classic and favorite. Oh, yes, I've smoked it and I do enjoy it. Anthony's got some in his basement. I love that.
He's talking about the movie.
I know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, fair.
Snickle Fritz.
My favorite is when he goes to the door. My favorite is when he goes to the door with the yoga ball and he's like bouncing it. He's like, I'm trying to get a motherfucking scholarship. What are you talking about?
Oh, how so? What do you think of dropping Ty Chandler, his fourth or fifth running back, to bring in Damian Pierce off of IR so I can swap my kicker and defense? No moves, blah blah blah. I got Jets and Riley Patterson was going to add New England defense. Yeah, I'm fine adding that New England defense, but yeah, I'm good dropping Chandler to bring Damian Pierce off of IR. I'm good with that.
You got to rip that Band-Aid off at some point. Can't just sit there with a locked roster,
Oh, and Dunn is already answering Better Cast pregame questions. Coop, Zeke, over under 59.5 yards.
Yeah, over. This Steelers team is allowing 121 yards per game on the ground combined to running backs. And who is Zeke really going to combine with? I mean, I think he might not have 121 by himself, but I think he had 90 last week. I think he's going to have, I can see 70, 80 and a touchdown. That's why I have Zeke ranked where I do. I think he's not a bad play at all this week.
Oh, I'm hearing this is a bad one here. This is Cal Chad TTV. Lamar out with illness, ravaging Ravens locker room. If he can't go, what does Huntley versus the Rams look like with no Andrews but several new weapons? This is killing me right now. Is Lamar out with a? Do I have to? I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers tonight. This is gonna drive me insane.
No.
This could drive. If Lamar Jackson is dealing with an illness right now, we've seen him just really suck when he's not feeling
He's not feeling well, yeah.
I don't see a report here. Where is this report here, Cal Chad TTV?
I'm seeing it. Not present at Ravens practice. This 12 minutes ago. 12 minutes ago. Not present at Ravens practice right now. He did not indicate anything was wrong on Wednesday, speaking with the media. So he just got sick, dude. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I'm seeing there's definitely tweets about it. There are people tweeting memes. Lamar Jackson.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
This is unflippin' believable. This is sad. Why now? Why when all of this kind of lines up so beautifully for me in a survivor pool? Why? I don't even care about Tyler Huntley. I wouldn't use Huntley. It's going to be crappy weather anyway. I would have loved to have had Lamar there with his rushing upside. Now I'm crabby. Now I'm upset.
Lamar Jackson, yeah. Rashad Bateman was sick the day before, so it looks like
what if I went to the Packers on the road against the Giants?
6.5 point spread. I mean, all these games have the 6 point spread. I don't really like picking the game tonight.
I don't either.
That one feels bad. I kind of like the Packers.
I'm gonna need to do some more crowdsourcing. Thank you for the heads up there.
Yeah, good looking heads up. Burns in the chat says people are talking upset in New York Giants game.
I'm sure they are. And Dunn needs one flex here in PPR: Javonte, Rashee Rice, Deontay Johnson, or T. Higgins.
Yeah, that's where I don't go Higgins and I don't go Deontay. I'm gonna go Javonte Williams in that one against the Chargers.
Yeah, I will too. Tua or Purdy?
Got to start Tua against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Purdy's been hot, but Tua has been. And I mean, they're both MVP candidates. Start Tua.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about using defenses and they're blocking no TD bet on DK. What a shock. What a shocker right there. That DK, whose headquarters are located in Boston, is going to turn around and take something like that off the table. Yeah. Welcome to betting with DraftKings. This is why I only stick with Caesars and BetMGM. I don't bet on DraftKings and I don't bet on FanDuel, right? Those DFS sites, whatever. They can sit there and they can adjust their odds to try and undercut the big boys all they want. I'll stay with the regular books in Vegas as opposed to these bullshit sites like FanDuel and DraftKings. I won't bet them because I just don't trust. I don't trust ownership. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Robert Flores says, how do you feel about Boswell 6.5 points tonight? Trying to parlay it with your Henry and Freiermuth props.
You got to ask John and Pemba on that because kicker stuff, I stay away from it because too much is out of their control. But John and Pemba at J and Pemba 777 on Twitter has just been destroying kicker props this year. Yeah, I don't know. He's been crushing it with the kicker props. So check with him. I think he usually likes betting number of field goals, like over 1.5, as opposed to betting the number of points. But definitely tag him and see what he's doing. Whatever he's doing, just follow it because he's been crushing those.
I'm going to lean on the under here. 6.5 points means that he needs 2 field goals. Right? It's not even like a field goal and an extra point. He needs 2 field goals to make that happen. And, I mean, again, 14-10. That's the way this game's going.
There you go. If it's 14-10, it doesn't matter who has 14 or 10. You would miss that bet.
Herbert or Minshew? It's Herbert for me.
Herbert, yep, still.
Josh Downs or Jordan Addison? So Downs going up against Cincinnati. Addison, who are the Vikings?
I like Downs. Yeah, the Vikings go against the Raiders, but
Vikings against the Raiders.
Justin Jefferson's back. The one question we don't know is that in our minds, Addison has done enough that now he's going to be the other full-time guy, but that never actually happened one time until Jefferson got hurt. It was KJ Osborne playing more snaps than Jordan Addison. We think it's going to be Addison, but we don't know, So I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Downs because TJ Hawkinson, even when Justin Jefferson was there, was leading all tight ends in targets. So Hawkinson's role isn't going to go anywhere. Jefferson obviously is going to get his. I don't know. I'm a little more worried about Addison. I'm going to go Downs.
I'm going to go Downs as well. Let's see. What do we got? No Hill, no Mostert today, though, for Tua. I'm not worried about Mostert or Tyreek Hill. It's Thursday, and it's a Monday game. There's no difference between them just taking Wednesday off and for a Sunday game. So I'm not even remotely worried about this for Tua. You pass against Tennessee. You don't run the ball against Tennessee.
Those dudes are 30 years old. They're not practicing on Wednesday.
For DFS this weekend, Otten or Pitts to pivot off of Likely. I don't like either one, so I like with Likely.
I like Likely, and in DFS I actually do like Pitts. The tight end article has been submitted. I'm not sure if it's up yet. It probably is up, but Pitts I don't mind at his price. But if Lamar's playing, I'm going Likely for sure. The setup is perfect, but I don't mind Pitts in DFS. I actually think I have Otten in the article too.
Oh, look at that. Trevor Lawrence took part. He was spotted on the field for practice Thursday.
Huh?
Yep. Here we go. Cal Chad says, Jesus. Blah, 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 blah. Trevor Lawrence practiced today. Do I play him if he is, in fact, playing like a I mean, it depends on. Well, I mean, I wouldn't play him because I don't trust the mobility. You're also dealing with horrible weather there. I'd have to see who your other options are. Like, I mean, even if your other option was like Minshew, I'd rather do Minshew than Lawrence and put any kind of trust in that.
Right. I'm watching clips right now of Trevor Lawrence, and he is not moving around at all. He's got a giant sleeve of some kind on his leg, and he's just standing there throwing the ball. He's not really moving around. So I don't know. I don't trust it.
All right. Ann wants to know what's happening with Pierce and Singletary. Who is the start this week? PPR.
So it's gone back. If the usage from this week holds, they reverted back to the previous setup where Pierce gets more run plays, Singletary gets more pass plays. And regardless of if that's the case, then Singletary, based on the matchups rest of season against the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Titans again, Singletary should be the better option in PPR because he's getting the pass work.
There you go. There you go. PPR need one. Deontay Johnson. Oh, hi, Michelle. Deontay Johnson, Jalen Warren, Tyler Lockett, Alexander Madison.
So I'm not going to start the Steelers. It's going to be one of Lockett or Madison. What do you think, Howard, on that one? Lockett's got the 49ers. Madison's got the Raiders. think I might like Madison there.
I'd probably go Madison just for the softer matchup, and he sees more touches than Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler will see more touches if the Raiders are beating the Vikings, and I just don't necessarily know if I see that. I'd probably lock in Madison. I like Lockett against the Niners. I don't hate it. It's not the greatest, right? Because we're not sure about Geno and whatnot, but I would go with Madison here.
This is also the part of the season where Tyler Lockett is like, he's all banged up, but he still plays no matter what. Like that. This is the weird. This always happens with Lockett.
All right, grumpy sports fan in the house. Metcalf or Rashee Rice? I'll go Metcalf.
Metcalf, man. Did you see the clip of Tyreek Hill reacting to DK Metcalf having the top speed this year?
No.
They showed the clip. Wes Welker showed the clip in practice and was like, "What do you think about that, Tyreek?" And he was just like, "That's all me." He's like, "I'm getting him." He's like, "I'm getting that." Like, just motivating him by showing that somebody else is faster. And then Welker was trying to get him to do a race for charity, but he was like, "I don't get paid for that."
I'm gonna start doing that. I don't get paid for that, so no.
Yeah.
Zeke, Chuba Hubbard, or Jalen Warren?
I'm going Zeke, man. I'm going Zeke. I have it ranked Zeke, Chuba, Warren, because Warren gets half the work, right? And it's a bad matchup. Chuba is getting more than half the work, but he's going up against the Saints. I don't know, Howard, what do you think? Because you did mention that the Saints have been a little softer than usual as of late for running.
They have been giving up more rushing yards as of late. Again, the team is kind of a lost cause, right? I mean, I don't really, they're killing it with time of possession over the last couple of games, and yet they haven't produced any points. It's like these empty drives, and maybe that helps out, but I don't necessarily think that I want to invest in Chuba. I'd rather go with Zeke just because I know he will be the primary ball carrier. He will be the guy who's going to get any kind of, red zone touches.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just kind of, sit on that front rather than hope that, that happens with the Saints, that they're giving up yards. Let me just check and make sure that they don't have any added injuries or players coming back or anything like that for no. Cameron Jordan's questionable. That's typical right there. So yeah, no, there's nothing exciting about it. I just go with Zeke.
Yeah. I mean, this is where they signed him in case this happens. So it's Zeke time, baby.
Zeke is insurance. Well, I gotta tell you, man, I need somebody to talk me off the ledge for tonight's game. Like so many, like everybody I know is like Steelers.
Lamar Jackson.
But think about this here with the Steelers, right? Because in the money line dropped. It's at 250 now, minus 250. The point spread dropped to minus 5.5 because everybody's putting money in on the Patriots because they think that it's a low scoring game, and it is a low scoring game. But the question is do the Patriots pull some shit out of their hat where all of a sudden, Kyle Duggar gets, a fumble for recovery for a touchdown. You get a weird pick six that happens there because Mitch Trubisky sucks, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's the problem that I'm having with that one there. I guess, being able to see what happens with Lamar Jackson over the next couple of days and having the Packers on Monday night is like a fallback option. Maybe that helps me.
Yeah. I love how the line essentially didn't change at all with the change from Pickett to Trubisky from the early lines for this game. Just crazy. I mean, I don't like picking these low scoring games because, like you said, if no one's doing anything, sometimes it just boils down to like the one team that does anything at all. I don't like that one bit. Rashad Bateman was sick with this, whatever Lamar Jackson has, and he missed one practice, and I used back in practice today. I think Lamar has plenty of time to get healthy before this weekend. I think he does too. I'm sticking with it. But that's just funny, man. This has been such a roller coaster.
Tell me about it, dude. Tell me about it. Because, I mean, I'll tell you what, like, the funny thing about it is that, like, the Saints would be a good pick this week against the Panthers, but everybody wants to hold the Saints because they're at home next week against the Giants, right? And so everybody wants to hold the Saints there. I'm sure that everybody in this pool can take the Steelers, And 6 out of the 7, me being the one who cannot, can take the Texans against the Jets, right? I think 6 of us also, with me included, can take the Packers. So I don't like taking road teams.
No.
Right. And, I would love to be able to save the Saints for next week. So it really kind of comes down to take the Steelers tonight or just let it roll with the Ravens on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to keep watching this money line, but the money line for the Ravens has not changed a bit. It is still 350 minus 350 for them.
I love Chargy in the chat right now. Howard, you should have chopped.
I tried to. I sent the email. I sent the email and I was like, yo, I'm good chopping. Right.
Okay.
And I just left it at that. And then I got an email back from the pool host said somebody doesn't want to chop. So
dude, so I think honestly, you just got a big karma boost with that. That's a cosmic karma boost, I think.
What, that somebody else said no chop?
That you said chop and somebody else said no chop, because now all the bad karma is on them. That's the guy that said don't chop. That's the guy that loses this week 100%. So
I hope so.
You just got the karma boost, man, by being a team chop. I wanted to ask you, because you made it really far in 2 of these. Did you have any hard and fast rules that you stuck by? Because I know you said you don't like division matchups, you don't like road matchups. Are those hard and fast rules for you, or did you just every week you kind of hammered it all out?
I mean, one of the things is, and a lot of people do this, like for survivor pools, and they start mapping the whole thing out.
Right.
And that's a huge mistake. Like, I'm not going to not take a lock pick in week 4 or 5 because, they've got a great matchup in week 14. Like, I get why some people do that. I don't like to do that because so much can change in the NFL, like at a moment's notice. We're watching what's going on right now. I was super psyched about just taking the Ravens and being happy with it. But now I've got this atmospheric river. Now I've got this illness for Lamar Jackson. It's like all of this shit like piles up and it kind of jams you up. So I go through it nice and easily there. I take the pick that I like the most. I look at point spreads early. I look at money lines early, and I just kind of go from there. When it comes to like now, like week 14 through 18, I will take a road team if I need to, if I like that matchup a lot more. Like, I mean, like a Packers Giants matchup is a great matchup. It's definitely a great matchup. But I have 3 home teams also in good matchups that I can turn to. And so I'll lean towards the home team, in that aspect. But like this is all I'm watching right now. Ravens are now a 7.5 point favorite instead of just a 7-point favorite. See? So all of this shit going on right now. This is it's giving me the agita. I'm gonna have a heart attack right here on the show.
So that actually did update.
Which am I supposed to grab, the left or the right arm? Which arm do I see? Or should I just go like this and say I'm having a stroke?
Does it smell like toast in there?
It does smell a little like burnt toast right now.
Yeah, that updated like literally as I was sitting here. It updated from 7 to 7.5. Why did it update in favor of the Ravens when their quarterback is sick? I do not know. So maybe there's some news in Rams world about what's going on with them. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm fully in on the Ravens. You can put the blame
with the Ravens. I'm sticking with the Ravens. That's it. I know if I overthink it, I'm just gonna drive myself insane for the next couple of days, and I don't want to do that. I will be the biggest Patriots fan in the world. Coop, show me a Patriots tight end jersey right now. I know it's within reach here.
Yeah, they're right here.
Come on.
Here's one.
There we go.
Yeah,
you can puke all you want, Burns. I am rocking it here, 100%.
Here's 2 Patriots tight end jerseys.
There we go. I am Mr. Patriot. I am Mr. Patriot tonight, folks. That's it. I am Mr. Patriot. I'm picking the Ravens.
I'm rooting. So that sucks because I want to root against. You know what? Patriots going to get a good draft pick no matter what. I'm going to root for you to win money. So I will also root for the Patriots tonight because you're my friend. So, hey, you know what? Back to being a Patriots fan. Let's go. That'll be fun. It's nice. Now I got a reason for. Maybe I'll put a little money on them too. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think I'll put a little money on them to cover the spread.
There it is. There it is. All right, couple of last second questions here. TD in the house. Oh, he's saying please. He's begging. TD's on their knees begging for us to help him out.
That's it. That's the show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. No.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
No, we got you, TD. We got you, bro.
Adios, turd nuggets.
There it is.
Start 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. So your running backs to choose from here, Coop, are Mostert, Montgomery, and Kamara.
Okay, so I'm going to start Kamara for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to start Mostert against.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay, great. So those are our 2 running backs. Our wide receivers, we can choose from Puka, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Rashee Rice, or Jacoby Myers.
I'm starting Devontae Adams against the Vikings.
Mhm.
He's involved plenty, so he's definitely in for me.
Yeah. I'm starting Hopkins against the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. So now
they're going to throw there.
So now it's a flex, and I actually might go Monty there.
Really?
I might go Monty. I think he's in positive game script games. He leads that team in carries. He's a goal line monster. I don't know. I think I just go the 3 running backs, Hopkins and Adams.
Yeah.
Sitting Puka, I mean, he left the game. He missed the entire second quarter with some sort of rib issue, but then he played.
Eric River.
Oh, he's in the river.
He's in the river. He's in Baltimore, dude.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Easy enough, TD. There you go, brother.
There it is. There it is. And you know what? On that note, we are going to say thank you so much to everybody for watching. Check out all of Coop's content over at fantasyalarm.com. You can check out some of my content if you feel like it too, but more check out Coop's content. There's a little QR code for a Fantasy Alarm subscription if you guys want. fantasyalarm.com/let's go. Promo code let's go for 50% off that first month. Big thank you to Brian Burns, as always, for producing for us. And again, thank you to everybody for all your questions in the chat. Before you leave, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube page. For Andrew Cooper, I'm Howard Bender. Catch you next time.
Adios, turd nuggets.